episode of Flash Zellow, fiction done fast, where I take your prompts and write one-page short stories live in front of you. All of you. So many of you. For anyone who's popping back in, actually, it might have cut off the beginning of the stream. Oh no! Missed the intro. It was so good. Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Flash Zellow, fiction done fast, where I take writing prompts and turn them into one-page short stories, little pieces of flash fiction, and I do it live for your entertainment. So, if the lighting seems a little different today, it is not because I am streaming at a different time, it's because Mother Nature's decided to drop a hailstorm on my little town. It seems to have let up for the moment, but about 10 minutes ago it was coming down. And I know you're all concerned about the exact same thing, which is my boy, my little stray cat, who we saw earlier this morning. He was very insistent about food, and we presented him to his little kitty shelter. We took two bins, storage bins, one smaller than the other. We put the smaller one inside the bigger one, lined it with straw, and then cut a hole through both of them so that he could, have a place to go. We managed to get him to go inside with some treats, and then he promptly went and sat in the box off to the side. So, because that's how cats do. That's how cats do. Let me see, actually, if I can... Can you see... Does that show up? Yes. So that was him testing it out, and this is him deciding that he's happier over here. So he's a pretty boy. So I hope wherever he ended up during the hailstorm, I hope he was covered. We popped our heads out, but he didn't see him, so... Oh well. So, I guess that's the curse of trying to take care of a stray. Oh, we got one person. One person's popped in. So, which, as I like to say, that is technically an audience, is definitely enough. We're going to test something today. It's a big step. But we're going to kind of just see what happens if I don't, hit anybody up and see... Yeah, see what happens if I just kind of leave it to fate? Oh, whoops. I didn't realize that the chat was just sitting there. Is this working? The chat working? Let's... give it a shot. Hello there. Yeah, that's working. Oh. I don't really care, Grammarly. Neediest app I've ever... Right, how do I clear? Yeah, there we go. Now no one else has to worry about it. Oh, so we're gonna do the thing. We'll give it a couple of minutes, see if anybody turns up. If not, well, oh well. I can still write some stories, and I mean, it's kind of a gloomy day anyways, so... Or I could just text a couple people and see if anyone wants to pop in, yeah. Alright. So, anybody watch it, check out Ninja Sex Party's new album, because I definitely have Starlight Brigade by Top Word Dance Party stuck in my head, which is adjacent to. I was listening to the new Ninja Sex Party, I was listening to The Prophecy, and then I just kind of kept going, and I ended up on that song. And now that's stuck in my head. Because, why not? One day, I will be brave enough to be like, to just trust that people will find their way to my stream. But apparently, it is not this day. I got the fiancée is downstairs. She's making some tea to go with the hot cocoa. I've got a friend up in Colorado. He's late for work because there was so much snow on his property that the tractor got stuck and can't get out. So that's a thing. Oh, it's not our boy. It's one of the other ones. It's there's other cats who live around. That one's Pretty Lady. Just because she's long haired and she's very dainty when she eats. Alright. We're closing in on 20 till, which is normally within the next 5 or so minutes, about when I just start writing. So, but yeah, I guess that's a fair enough time to just start reading the prompts. That's what we do, right? Excuse me. Post-apocalypse 2097, and radiation has evolved animals to gain heightened brain capabilities. Lone survivor has to navigate through a cityscape overrun by radiated raider animals. A linen pants enthusiast crosses paths with a linen pants salesman. Little do they know, aliens are about to invade, but perhaps they are also linen pants enthusiasts? Tea?
I come bearing tea.
You missed Pretty Lady. She was trotting across the road.
I did step out and see the mister.
Oh, how's he doing?
He was very unhappy we would not let him inside.
Yeah, that checks out.
But he was very happy to curl up in a lap for a minute.
That's cute. Alright, so I'm hanging out with my COVID pod, and the crowd suggestion is a line of dialogue. How many eggs? Rough estimate. The story of a French omelette from start to finish from the perspective of the egg. An exploration of class warfare and inequality takes place night in the museum style after a big furniture outlet store. In a big furniture outlet store, between sentient pieces of furniture. No humans allowed. Think Snowpiercer, but in an RC Willy. A 3-word prompt: eggplant, furious, and catastrophe. Sarah sat down at the table and smiled to her wife. She smiled back, those beautiful crystalline blues, bright against the dusky tones of her skin. Sarah's heart hitched. She loved that grin, the way Jaime's nose flared, the crinkle of at the sides of her eyes, that faint, playful mirth that brought Sarah alive. Oh, God, Jaime was so alive. It's time, Jaime said, her voice calm, and even as she placed the kitchen knife on the table. It's time to kill me. An angel convinces a demon to go good. What is the demon's first attempt at goodness? Does it work? Or the opposite, a demon convinces an angel to go evil. What's the angel's first deed? My dad has a problem for you. Dragon lost in his cave trying to find his hoard. Part 2. Monk sworn to poverty comes across a giant hoard of gold. Some classic D&D goodness in that one. So, I'm just gonna... So my friend stuck in the snow said, could be worse. Oh, now he's sending a picture. How much worse could it be? Oh, can't play. Alas. And now the phone is on Do Not Disturb. One day I will remember, but not today. Don't you chuckle at me.
What? I said nothing.
You snorted.
I said nothing.
The tea's very hot.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is that why I heard the tea kettle going off for so long?
Yeah.
Were you outside
I was outside.
playing with the stray kitties?
Yeah. It was so cold. He needed love.
I didn't say you weren't. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't say anything about it. All right. Well, it's kind of a gloomy day. So let's go with the gloomy prompt. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Also, I started naming them. And you can see the names kind of off to the side here, but you can't see all of the names because you gotta go to the blog and look at them there. That's my decree. Okay. So I actually have an idea for this one that I want to kind of try. But we're gonna start with what we do. So, how is everybody out there doing today? Is everyone doing all right amidst the gloom? Okay. So this is really narrative. This is very much kind of already. This isn't really written as a prompt. This is written as the beginning of a story on its own. So I kind of want to see what happens if we just copy paste it. Okay, so that's almost. So we're gonna do some edits on this. Not that, just to make it a little more my style. But I think I want to keep kind of the basic concept here. Okay. And then we're gonna kind of walk our way through this. Sarah sat down at the table and smiled too. I'd prefer at. So Jaime is the wife. Okay. Jaime sat down at the table and smiled at her wife. Jaime smiled back. See, this is probably one of the less interesting parts of writing is just the editorial process and just kind of feeling out what flows for, you know. So I sat down at the table and smiled at Jaime. Well, smiled back. Yeah. Sarah sat down at the table and smiled at her wife. Jaime smiled back, her eyes, a beautiful crystalline blue, bright against the dusky tone of her skin. Sarah's heart hitched. Oh no, I feel a sneeze coming on.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, excuse me.
God bless you.
It's fine. We're all good. We're all good, right? Okay. Okay. Where were we? She loved that grin, the way her nose flared, the crinkle to her eyes. Playful mirth. Okay, let's just kind of read through this and see how it do. Sarah sat down at the table and smiled at her wife. Jaime smiled back, her eyes a beautiful crystalline blue, bright against the dusky tone of her skin. Sarah's heart hitched. She loved that grin, the way... She loved that grin, the way... I changed it and then I changed it back to the prompt. See, that's a lot of how you do. She loved that grin, the way Jaime's nose flared, the crinkle around her eyes, that faint, playful mirth that made Sarah feel alive. It is time. Okay, Jaime said, her voice calm as she placed the kitchen knife on the table. It's time to kill me. Okay. Let's see. This is an interesting one. I don't know. Off the top of my head, like I thought I might immediately, something might spring to mind. Maybe it's just because it's already been a bit of a day. So we've got why is it time to kill her? Okay, so there's the obvious, literary reason, right? Which is, for some reason, Jaime has elected that, her life is over. So it could be like a terminal illness kind of story. In which case, fucking kitchen knife is a goddamn metal way to go. I choose assisted suicide. Get the fuck out of here, Dr. Kevorkian, with all that shit. Just give me a nice kitchen knife. Oh god. No, that's a little dark even for me. I don't want to write that story. No. That just doesn't... That's a totally viable option, but that just doesn't sound fun to me. So that leaves a couple of different options. That leaves... Take the plunge. No. It's not a question of ability. It's a question of just desire. It wouldn't be fun for me, but I felt like I needed to account for that potential story, or that potential direction first. I mean, okay. Jaime. I don't know if anyone else can hear the storm coming down. Actually, since it'd be so interesting, I don't know if but yeah, it's coming down. It's nice. It's nice. Okay, where were we? Oh well. What? I mean, it was coming down earlier, and now it's just really nice. It's just the kind where you curl up with like a nice blanket and... Oh, actually. Wait. With a nice blanket, and you curl up with your tea and your stray cat that lives across the street in an abandoned mortuary, and, you know, you write some stories. Not anymore. Oh wait, no, that is definitely still my ringtone, isn't it? Oh yeah. I was like, nah, I changed that. No, I didn't. It's morphine time. Give me drugs. Okay. Sarah sat down at the table and smiled at her wife. Jaime smiled back. Her eyes looked beautiful crystalline blue, bright against the dusky tones of her skin. Sarah's heart hitched. She loved that grin. The way Jaime's nose flared, the crinkle around her eyes, that faint, playful mirth that made Sarah feel alive. It's time, Jaime said, her voice calm as she placed a kitchen knife on the table. It's time to kill me. This is making me sad. just feel I needed to say that. I spilled some tea. It's fine. Wow. Okay. Well. Yay. So, to be honest, the first idea that popped into my head for this actually was... what's that? It's like an anime. I think they turned it into that film, The Old Guard. I don't know a lot about it. I saw one video talking about it, but basically, these people can kill themselves and they like come back. They regenerate. And I was like, oh, I could do something like that. And instead I was like, but what if I did sad lesbian zombie infection story? Where I don't ever use the word zombie. Or even, you know, fully, It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's doing a thing. How do I... Ah, there we go. Well, I hope you guys liked that one. It's a little bit more of a downer than I feel like I've normally done. And then I was trying... I did a little bit of edits to try and make it feel a little bit more my style, but simultaneously I was trying really hard to keep it kind of in the original prompt style. So yeah, and there we go, already on the blog. And you can see the original versus what I ended up with. I think they're fairly close. You make me sad. I made myself sad, to be completely honest. Oh, there goes the boy, heading back across the street. Sad but enjoyable. Well, I'm glad.
It usually takes a couple of days for cats to get into, like, shelters.
Yeah, no, I figured. I figured he'd get there. I just hope he's okay and warm and taken care of. I love that cat. I would die for that cat. I would also break out in hives for that cat. Mm-hmm. I do so regularly. Mm-hmm. Okay! Well, hey guys, we started off with a real fun one today. Woo! Oh man. Yeah, this just is like, I'm just sad now. I'm just sad now. It's interesting also, sometimes, like, I like using my story structure, but anyone who's watching can see that I obviously was like, I got to the first, but complication, and just was like, I got, well, she can't do it. And then from there, it was just, and I don't even know if it's instinct or just doing what felt right. But yeah. So, it's not something, like, it's a tool in the toolbox for when you need it. And if you don't need it, you don't need it. You just go. Alright. So, back to the beginning. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I didn't read it out loud. I got distracted by myself. Thank you for the reminder. Alright. My bad, honestly. I was so sad. I was just like, moving on. Okay. Sarah sat down at the table and smiled at her wife. Jaime smiled back. Her eyes, a beautiful crystalline blue, bright against the dusky tone of her skin. Sarah's heart hitched. She loved that grin, the way Jaime's nose flared, the crinkle around her eyes, that faint, playful mirth that made Sarah feel alive. It's time, Jaime said, her voice calm as she placed the kitchen knife on the table? Placed a kitchen knife on the table. Is that part of the original prompt? I'm just going to change that to the. She placed the kitchen knife on the table. It's time to kill me. She stared at the knife, her insides twisting into a tight knot. The blade, recently sharpened, reflected the light above the table. Sarah's palms grew sweaty, and her breath was short. This couldn't be the only way, not after everything they'd been through. After all the struggles, they couldn't end like this. I can't, she managed with shuddering gasps. Jaime was instantly there, one rough, calloused hand gently cuffing her cheek. Hey, you're okay. You're all right. I know, none of this is fair, none of this is right. But don't you kid yourself for even a second. You can do this. You're stronger than this. Stronger than me. They stared into each other's eyes, tears streaming down their cheeks. Sarah leaned forward, collapsing into her wife's embrace, trying to escape from the world in her warmth. She couldn't, though. Even now, she could see the bandage around Jaime's forearm. She could see the edge of the infection spreading away from the bite. Across the skin that Sarah loved so much, every curve she'd memorized, every imperfection she'd adored. Now it was being ravaged from the inside out. Jaime was being ravaged from the inside out. Besides, Jaime said, trying to laugh, it'll happen either way. I want it to be you. Sarah wiped away her tears and picked up the knife. It trembled between her fingers. Close your eyes. She'd never see those eyes again. I love you, Sarah whispered. And then... end. Woo! What a fun little story, guys! I am going to change one thing. Make it a little more obvious, I guess, that it's supposed to be zombies. I'll change either way. I want it to be you. Oh. Shit, I already put that on the blog, though. Okay, wait, I can go back to the blog. I can fix this. Okay. There it is. I'm glad I took time out of my impromptu day off for this fun ride of joy. You're welcome! Wasn't this your prompt, Dune Harper? Isn't this your fault? Pretty sure. Listen. I'm listening. I'm assuming you weren't expecting me to go where I went. I'm not the one who took it, sad boy. It's the... sad boy is the less remembered cousin to Billie Eilish's bad guy. Alright, let's see, what else can I make super duper sad today? Speaking of horror, you made it... I was thinking horror, you made it Shattered Memories. Shattered Memories is horror? I was curious to see if I got a reaction out of that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do the dragon one because I don't think I can make this one sad. I could try. She didn't even flinch. Nah, she don't flinch. We're talking about you.
Oh no. I'm into art zone.
She's in the zone. She's got flow. I'm just over here babbling like an idiot, and she's doing productive stuff, I'm sure.
Catching up on the 10 days I'm behind on Inktober.
Oh, she's catching up on the 10 days?
Yup. The last one I did was on the 15th. It's the 25th.
She has 10 days worth of Inktober drawings to come up with. Is that a comic? Is that a comic?
No.
No, it's an Inktober. Yes, I know, I just got signed out. Leave me alone. need to lose the hoodie. Oh no. So let's see. We're gonna have a band of adventurers. Right? Okay, you gotta go look at the t-shirts that they have for the new album. Because they're so cool! Oh my god! Just, shop? Merchandise? Store. It's, look at that, it's so cool! So cool. I want. I have a mighty need! Oh, it's so good. And then the actual for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's also amazing. So I'm a mad guy. What I do? Ooh. Right? It's so good. At the Cave of Gothmarog. Gothmarog! I came up with a name, guys. See, it turns out that there's something about classic fantasy names that are a lot easier to come up with than, like, contemporary names. Because you just make a fantasy name, right? Yeah. It's just a thing you do. Oh, what's our fantasy world? What's our fantasy world gonna be called? Arathmala. Red. I don't know. Fuck it. The Obsidian Brotherhood. Okay. Dawn shone across the wildlands of Wrath painting the adventuring band known as the Obsidian Brotherhood. I probably, considering the story is so short, I should have started them in the cave, but fuck it. It's classic fantasy. There's just so much you gotta do, right? Ugh. Bless you. Obsidian. Noble. What's the difference between a drake and a dragon? Sure. All right. Makes it sound like his scaly nose is broken. Verathris or Verathis? Oh, well. Either way. Valiant Verathis looked at his men, made a quick decision, and slaughtered the poor, unsuspecting dragon. No, I can't end it that way. Okay. Okay. So. Sorry, I went a little quiet there. I was just kind of I was having fun. I like the dragon's voice in this. This is, again, one of those stories that I'm like, oh, I kind of like to write more of this. So. Dawn shone across the wilderlands of Arathkin, painting the adventuring band known as the Obsidian Brotherhood in gold. Golds and reds. There. At the lead stood valiant Varathus, their leader. The cave is ahead, he declared, pointing at the jagged edge of the crystalline mountains. Once inside the deep, dark earth, the caves of Gothmarog, once home to a mighty band of dwarves, now taken over by a terrible dragon. They were prepared for anything. Or so they thought. Excuse me, echoed a powerful voice from the shadows of the cave. The Obsidian Brotherhood readied their weapons. Yes, you there. The ones with the pointy things. Could I possibly steal a moment of your time? I'd be ever so grateful. The Rathus looked at his best and oldest friend, the noble Neela. She shrugged back. You may have audience with us, he decided. Oh, lovely, came the voice as the terrible worm in question appeared before them. It was actually small. It was small, actually. No larger than a horse, and even that was being generous, with a set of broken spectacles over his scaly nose. A dragon, Neela cried. A drake, more, actually. One in need of assistance. Hold, Varathus commanded. What assistance would you ask of us, vile beast? Okay, hurtful name-calling, that's fine. Look, it's so embarrassing. I'm blushing just thinking about it, but I need help too. He looked down, almost childlike. I am lost. Lost, bellowed Belarius the Black. A dragon lost in his own cave. Yes, indeed. I went to make some tea, and then, I took a left turn. I was sure it was a left turn, but, you lot seemed sensible enough, if rather hurtful with your words. I just want to get back to my library. I was reading an ever so enthralling book, and will you help me? Valiant Varathus looked upon the pitiful beast and was moved. Aye, Drake, who is lost. It would be the honor of the Obsidian Brotherhood to return you to your library. But who knows what happens next? Bum, bum, bum. I like this dragon. He's cute. Ah, good times. Poor guy just wants to get back to his book, and probably his tea is cold by now, but, you know. And I don't immediately have a catchy name for this, for this one. What, So there's a Dragonlance anthology called The Dragons at War. And we're going to name this story The Dragon at Tea Time. Because why not? And yeah, The Dragon at Tea Time. I like it. See, I don't have to do sad or horror all the time. I've still got some of that old... It's been a while since I did fantasy, or especially just straight up, like, more classic fantasy. So... I mean, obviously, this is a little sillier than classic fantasy, but I was trying with, Valiant Varathus, Noble Neela, and Belagos Belarius the Black. I never named the dragon. Oh well. Actually, this is a fair time, because I've got a few of you, and what I was thinking before I wrap things up today was doing like a poll, basically, where I don't know how best to do it. I'm still trying to think about it, but I had a friend say, hey, you should try doing like some serialized storytelling on the stream, which, kind of, I was like, so basically just an ongoing story. And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, so like television, basically have a reason for people to come back and get my hooks into your brains and have you always coming back. But I thought there could be something fun by having like a poll almost to say, what story, maybe one story a week. I do 8 of these stories a week. 4 days, 2 a day. And I could do something like, make a poll out of those stories and see which story next week would you like to see a sequel to, just another 1-page, little continuation, right? That could be fun. So I don't have that set up, but, what do you guys think in the chat? If that would be something you would be down for, let me know. You like it? I like it too. Yee. Cool. Alright, well, this is starting to add up. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So, we didn't actually get to the monk, though. So we're just going to leave that as its own thing. Wait. What did I just do? Did I copy the wrong thing? Was I not paying attention? Oh, no. This is the finish. This is why. Alright, well, I'll see what I can do maybe to get a poll like that set up. Do you guys think it would be... I mean, part of it is the fact that there are now, 26 completed stories, which is exciting. Wait, only 26? I've screwed something up somewhere. I did. Where is the picture frame one? Oh no. Well, I can just copy it from here. That's fine. If I was to do this poll, would you guys say it would be worth it to do like all 20, choose from all 27? That's kind of why I was thinking of making it like a weekly thing, so there's only, 8 stories to choose from and not to, almost 30. I feel like that could be simpler. I don't want to overwhelm people. But, yeah. Oh well. That's something that's, coming down the pipeline that I think could be fun. Yeah. I think we'll leave it off there. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go just kind of enjoy this lazy day. But this was good. It's cloudy. It's a little gloomy. It was... Okay, it wasn't a big storm, but, there was some rain and some hail. And I had my tea and my blanket. And that's just kind of the perfect way to spend a day like this. Writing some stories with some friends. So thanks. Thanks for coming along with me on this little journey. So, alright, guys. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to write. I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I'm still trying to get used to my own schedule. Alright. Farewell.